You've made it. You're here. Episode 10 After Dark. Wow.
What a War Crow
It was
episode.
War Crowy. I didn't expect to get that deep into the fact, but there's actually a lot of clarification in there that makes the game better.
So much better, so much smoother, and really cuts out the gaminess.
Yeah.
Right? I just imagine so many rules lawyers getting in there, you know. But I don't think War Crow's meant to be that game. Like, it's Corvus Belli, so it's got strong rules. It's got some competitive quality to it.
Yeah.
I think that when they finally start releasing their strong narrative products, like their full campaign books and everything, we're really going to see what War Crow is supposed to be. But I think they need to get the factions there first.
Yeah, it's quite true. They need to handle that. And, you know, their stated goal was to have a game that was very playable and very different from Infinity. Not that level of, oh my God, to give people that don't want that Infinity crunch an option from Corvus Belli, you know, to have something in their product line that fed the not Infinity player, because you have to be dedicated to Infinity to play that game.
Yeah.
You know, there's 30 pages of rules and then 150 pages of abilities. And knowing which one counters which one, that's the key to Infinity, is knowing what counters what.
Yeah.
And so you have to commit that 150 pages to memory. Otherwise, you're just not going to play well.
You know, I think, like, if you don't want to get into that level of crunch, Sand Trap is still great. You know, those, like, basic intro games.
Yeah.
Absolutely fun to play. And it's not alienating, you know?
Right.
There's still the good stuff there. I still think War Crow, from intro box to more developed factions, the game just plays so well consistently, and not in such a way that it hurts. And it doesn't have confusing, which I thought it was confusing at first, the D20 system that Infinity was using.
The face-to-face rolls are just still such a... If I could change one thing about that game, it would be that.
Yeah.
It's a needlessly... Well, I'll say it flat out. Infinity is needlessly complex for the sake of being complex, to the point of excluding people that are new to the game.
Yeah.
So they rely on an existing customer base, and they do not make it easy. They tried with Code 1 to make an easy jumping in point, and realized that you cannot do that.
No.
Because people jumped into Code 1, and then they were exposed to the wider community and raffle stomped because they didn't know every single interaction in that game. And that's really the barrier to entry. And that was something specifically stated. War Crow is not going to have that.
Nope.
There is not going to be a thing where, oh, here's the gotcha moment. Here's the thing that you didn't see coming. No, it's not going to be there.
Well, they build in that internal balance. They have their bespoke dice.
Yep.
So they know the exact, possibilities of success or failure. And so they can more readily and easily balance out interactions.
Yes.
So it's not just going to be, oh, I built and stacked all this stuff up, so there's no way you can defeat me. No, like, there are going to be times where someone just is a better melee faction and they get into melee.
Yeah.
Or the Cyanin are going to be able to evade them and just slowly shoot them to death.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still balanced in the sense that, like, nothing just outright evaporates another unit.
Yeah. And it's still, you're going to be matchup dependent, but it's still done in a way that you're going to have some enjoyment out of it, as opposed to, I've maintained that until GW gets away from one of two things, they either have to ditch the D6 or they have to ditch the I go, you go. It's just, one of those two things has to change. Not only is it understood to be really bad game design, when you look at every game uses alternating activation except those two big ones. And what does it bring to the table? What does that I go, you go, how does it enhance the game? And they can't answer that question. But they're also steadfastly refusing to change from the D6 in order to give a wider range of granular results. So you're stuck in this freaking incredibly old, archaic, and I say that because it's over 20 years old, archaic game system that just, it no longer represents that thing you want to represent on the game table.
Yeah.
You want to recreate these battles. You can't. In the current editions, you cannot recreate the things that are happening in the novels because when you match those two factions, they are going to be wildly disparate, and they're not going to play off like you intend. Mm-hmm. So they have to address that elephant, which they may one day. But anyway, we're done. We shouldn't be bashing GW so much. They're doing so much good shit. And the drops for next week are like, hey, when did Kayvon Shrike die? I'm like, there's a new Raven Guard Chapter Master model coming out, and I'm like, who the fuck is that dude?
Never heard of him before.
And where's Shrike?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we just lost a Chapter Master, now we're losing another one? Fuck off. Oh, we're moving the narrative forward. Blah. Really? Okay.
I think the new Chapter Master looks pretty sick, though.
He is badass. And he takes Tactical Rock to a whole new level. Wow.
3 different head sculpts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I think it's a testament to like where they're moving in terms of their capability of doing sculpts. Because if you look at like Shrike to this guy, you're like, Shrike just looks kind of like a captain now. He doesn't look like a Chapter Master.
Yeah, kind of.
Though that said, for all you Imperial fists out there, your Chapter Master still looks dumb.
No, he's just a captain.
Oh, is he captain?
Yeah, he's just
I thought he was a Chapter Master. I thought they were releasing all the Chapter Masters.
No, I think he's just a captain. Let me look again. But
let's look again.
I thought he was just a captain. Because, well, I don't know. Oh, hold on. Oh, Darnath Lysander as captain of the first company.
First company. Yeah. There you go.
So, yeah, he's just a schlub. And he really looks like a schlub.
He looks like a schlub.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say this. Okay, I do think the Raven Guard guy looks pretty sick. But the White Scars con that they released on his hover bike.
Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing else. Like, you guys can dress up however you want to, but the Speedy Boys are here. I super hope that like sort of suggests that they are going to be releasing White Scars specific bikes.
I would hope.
Like like you just did it. You just sculpted a con on a hover bike.
Yeah.
Just make that with 3 in the box and not a captain.
Yeah, it's easy to do, and it prints money, so they'll do it. Yeah.
Do
it.
Yeah.
They will do it.
They would absorb a lot of money from me. But yeah, so
you start After Dark.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things that aren't like main focus, like video games, stuff like that here. I am revisiting Control Ultimate Edition. I've ranted before. I love Alan Wake. I love Control. I'm not going to go into what Control is all about and how great it is, but coming back to it after several years, I think. Yeah, because I played it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So coming back after all that time and sitting down with the game again, I just started wholly fresh from the beginning.
Oh, nice.
New game. And this time I'm playing it on PS5. Last time I played it on PS4.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so clean. The story's great. It's still haunting and weird and confusing, but then you start to understand more as you go. And art direction is out of this world. I've really enjoyed re-engaging with that game after so long.
That's cool.
I was kind of like between games in a weird way. So I actually bought that remake anniversary of Hexen and Heretic that came out.
Oh, okay.
Because they dropped 2 new games in it. And I remember just how freaking hard those games are. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. If you're not playing the Wizard, it is so hard.
Damn.
Like the Warrior can like tank a crap ton of damage, but that Cleric, he's in between and he just doesn't get stuff done.
Oh shit.
But if you're playing the Sorcerer, you start out with essentially like a pistol scepter, so you can just like infinite ammo shoot dudes as you run around.
Thank you.
And then you eventually get a staff that's like a machine gun. But anyway, I was playing that. I was like, this is so hard. Like, this is going to take me an amount of time to get through it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as enjoyable. Then I picked up Forspoken. It was for free on PlayStation Network. And I always want to try it because a lot of, MAGA types really hated the game for some reason. But the main character is a young woman of color who's on the other side of the law just trying to make do. And she stands up for herself. She has a mouth. She cusses like crazy. She fights motherfuckers. Like, she's a badass. And the game comes down to really interesting mechanics. So it's like part magic, part parkour.
Oh, I hate that game. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I remember that game now. Yeah, that did trigger a bunch of people.
It really did. Yeah. There's a lot of snowflakes that day. But
really?
I don't know why they they're so triggered. I mean, I do know why. It's the main character is a woman of color.
Oh, okay.
And she actually goes through what people of color go through when they're on the other side of the law.
I was going to say, isn't that the one where she has a lot of internal dialogue?
She does have a good amount of internal dialogue.
Yeah. And I think that's what really turned people off, was that she was expressing ideas.
Yeah. People don't like when women of color express ideas.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah.
Hello?
I mean, the game's really cool. Story's really great. I bounce back to that every now and then when I want to have that parkour experience.
Yeah.
But I was like, Control's right there. I really like Control.
I could click on that.
I can click on that one. And I'm glad I did. Like, I've never in recent time, I haven't been able to just like sit down with a video game and just be like, oh, I really enjoy this. It's been a couple months since I really sat down with like Dark Tide was the last time.
Yeah.
When I had my robot doggo and was just obliterating.
Oh.
But then work got crazy.
Yeah,
sitting down
it
listening,
happens.
and I'm like, oh, I love Control. I love Control. One of the main reasons I wanted to go through it again is because I got Alan Wake 2. Mm-hmm. And I played through like the first chapter. That game was intense, but there were like some references back to Control, like distinct references back to Control that I was like, oh, why can't I remember that? You know? So I'm like, okay, go back through Control, get all that stuff done, jump back into Alan Wake 2, finish out the game.
Nice.
Right? Alan Wake 2 is a great game too. So that's like really where my console gaming's been. But then big pitch for everyone here. So, you know, Bill and I have discussed back and forth Kingdom Death Monster last episode. I think mentioned one before that. It's a game that sometimes feels prohibitively expensive. Right?
Oh, yeah.
When you look at it, you're like, I'm buying a board game for $400. First off, you get your money's worth. It is pounds of plastic, pounds of cardboard. No, you are getting quality when you purchase it. However, if you are hesitant because you're not sure if you're going to like the game, sure, you can go on and watch it be played on YouTube in some spaces. That's all right. But the company themselves developed a simulator for the PC.
Nice.
And Mac. It is the complete core game for download in essentially a TTS space.
Yeah.
That has upgraded graphics, but it's the whole game. It has every game piece that you would get if you bought the $400 core box.
And that is awesome.
Yeah.
Because Kingdom Death Monster is a game that you are either going to enjoy and you're going to get it, what the goal of the game is, or you're going to absolutely hate it.
Yes.
And it's not because you're a shitty gamer or you just don't get it. It's a completely different design space. And I'll tell you this flat out. This was the easiest game in the world to design. Mm-hmm. Because they can write anything they want on a card. Anything. Because it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. There is no play balance issue with giving one of your survivors an amazingly good weapon in the first turn of the first legacy or lantern year, because it's gonna die.
Yeah,
it's going to die, and you have to understand that you are playing to build a civilization. Mm-hmm. You're not playing to win an encounter and keep your character alive through a whole bunch of different encounters. If you survive 1, 2, 3 hunts, awesome, fantastic. But the game is designed around the idea that when you fall, someone takes your place.
Yep.
And part of your village, part of your community steps up to take your place. And a bulk of that game is developing that village, developing what they know, what they've learned, what attitudes they have, what values are entrenched in that village.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because if you're all wrapped around, oh, I bought this mini and this is the one I want to take through the whole game. No, get that out of your head. That iteration of that character is going to die. You'll use the same mini for your next guy, don't worry. Yep. But it's just get out of the idea that you have to survive. You're going to have to survive to have fun.
Yeah.
Because you won't.
And it's like Dark Civilization. Dark Civ 6.
That is a great analogy. It is Civilization with reality thrown in.
Worse than reality.
Well, you're in a horrified fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's horror. Mm-hmm. It's not designed to be nice.
No.
And if you get a civilization to go through 30, 35 lantern years, you've done something. You've accomplished some serious shit. So, and I mean, you have to feel good about that. That's a win right there. But, understand that everything is stacked against you. Mm-hmm. Every turn of a card, every roll of a die could be your last. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just, okay, I'm going to attack the monster. I hit it twice, turn over the card. Oh, shit. There's the trap card.
Oh, the trap cards are raw.
But that's it, is don't get attached to this iteration of your civilization. Get attached to your civilization. Mm-hmm. Make it work with the other X number of players that you're playing with and make something cool.
Yeah, and it's starting on the prologue. You are just a small group of what they call survivors, right? You don't even have language. Like, you are humanity pre-language.
Yeah.
And you have, like your founder stones,
Yeah.
And you otherwise have like fists and teeth, and like you are literally feral humanity trying to establish a civilization and grow into something. And
don't lose your founder stone. It's so good later on in the game.
Yeah, and so you go through this journey of not just, we're going to play these 4 survivors. No, it's you build up civilization. Your mind is not about the 4 people in front of you. Yeah. It is about what you can do to further your encampment and your civilization. And it's really cool how like the cards work when you go through after you finish a lantern year, or the prologue even, where you get language and then you have to assign bonuses. And there's bonuses to naming yourself. And it's so cool and complex.
Yes. And and the random shit that happens is so unhinged and hilarious. And you get to the point to where having a survivor survive 4 or 5 hunts or even more, or 10 or 12 hunts, and you don't have to take the same ones every time.
No,
you can spread the wealth throughout your village, which is a really viable and good idea.
Agreed.
It's just, you have to approach it from that point of view, building your village, your civilization into something. If you just get attached to one character and you're like, oh, I bought this, one of the pinups, and I painted her up really nice, and this is all I want to play. Well, you don't get it. And try the computer game first. It's $20 versus $440.
Yeah, and it's quality. It's quality. Cool thing, too, is if you love it, you're like, I'm going to buy the $400 game. They translate to each other.
Yes.
So the simulator or the PC version, you can take to your core game exactly where you left off and continue to play.
Yes. And play with friends.
The simulator lets you do that too. It's not just you. You can actually get 3 other players to join you.
Oh, nice. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit, now we're talking they don't have to sell the game. Shit. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you don't get the quality of miniatures, and you don't get the immediate, like, we're here community sense, right?
That's the fun of it. I mean, honestly, going through a hunt with a group of people, knowing that more than one of you is not going to make it back. It's just so, oh my God, it's so fun. It's so crazy. Oh, I love it.
And speaking of games that are similar, a hunt, where you're actually the prey.
Mm.
So when I first ever Kickstarter I bought into,
what'd you do?
Is the next edition of Don't Look Back.
Wow.
There's not a lot online about this game. I found a couple videos with Ash where he did the last edition, and that was in like the last year or so, right? Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people putting out content about this game. Huh. But the long and short of it is this. So you play a game where you are, that's right, a group of survivors.
Yeah. Ooh, weird.
Who are getting hunted by an 80s slasher horror killer. And, you have like your stereotypical survivors, right?
Yes.
You've got the football player, and you've got the cheerleader, and you've got the park ranger, you've got the nerd.
Yeah.
And so like it's got the full sweep of characters. They're all resin miniatures.
Yep.
Before I get into what the Kickstarter gets, I have to say this game's been out for a number of years.
Yeah.
And all of their expansions are in old school VHS boxes.
Awesome.
It's just chef's kiss. And they've got so many expansions. It's insane how many there are out there.
It's really well supported.
And everything from your psycho clown ice cream parlor to, 3 little gray aliens to giant crabs from the caves below the town.
Yeah.
But the game, how it's set up is that you're on a 3x3 board. Depending on the scenario, it'll give you a prompt for the terrain that you want to use.
Yeah.
Right? So it could be anything from a cabin in the woods to a residential street in town to a mall, right? Any of those places that are classic for
trope locations. Yeah.
Slasher horrors. And then, you have your certain group. Your goal is to escape the area before the killer kills you all. And holy crap, is that hard.
Yeah.
So one of the ones I watched 2 that Ash did. The first one I saw him do was, I can't remember the killer's name, but he's essentially like Psycho Hick in the woods with a shotgun. He's not supernatural or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right? And like these guys can enrage, depending on like when you roll certain dice, they could just pop right up behind your character and just brutalize you, right? And then they have like the classic things like if your character like, I think if you like advance them, they have the possibility of tripping. So you could roll a dice and be like, oh, I tripped, so I'm down for the turn.
Damn it.
And so you automatically get up the next turn. But it's just playing on all the classic horror stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'll have different things that you have to do. So like in the one with the slasher killer, there was this like portal that kind of moved around and they were trying to escape through the portal, right? But they had to find the portal first. And at the end of it, only one survivor got through, which was the cheerleader out of the 4. Because then because of the you roll a d10 for different effects, and sometimes the killer is just glued to one character and there's nothing anyone can do about it, and the killers hit like freight trains. Like you're not likely to be killed instantly. You're likely to get at least like one extra try to get away.
Well, of course, what would be the drama in just instant death?
Well, sometimes, like someone can trigger something on the other side of the map and the killer's over there all the time.
Drag them over there.
Or they show up, just behind the wall near where you are. And it looks so fun and dynamic. But again, much like, Kingdom Death Monster, what's the goal? One of us needs to escape. Yeah. Not all of us. That'd be cool. But we have to understand that like the goal is someone escapes.
One person.
To get to safety and get away from the killer. So the other one I saw him do, I didn't finish it, but it was like a pumpkin ghost with a scythe.
Oh boy.
Now, one thing that's really cool is it's fairly model agnostic.
Yeah.
So if you want to like kit bash your own killer to represent whatever the rules are on the card that you've got, feel free to do so. But they do sell high quality resin miniatures that are modular in a sense. So they have like one of the killers I saw has like different poses, but he has a pig mask. He's either got like an axe or a 2-handed axe or a chainsaw, so like multiple ways you can build your minis. And I just felt like it really captured that horror.
It does a great job with that whole 80s, 90s horror vibe, the Night of the Comet kind of things, the weirdness. And it can be just so, where Zombicide is like a straight out, we got to kill the zombies and get the hell out of here. It's very straightforward, very click, 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 do these things. Whereas, Don't Look Back has always been one of those incredibly more freeform. And what always made me look at that game was the way the minis worked, where you could build them however you wanted, or you could completely leave their system and just build whatever struck your fancy and shoehorn it into the game. I mean, it's built in that you bring in what you want. And that's just fun because you can get crazy, or at least you could get crazy with the character. But as you make the trade-offs, you're going to pay for it at some point.
Yeah.
And like you said, to me, the hilarious part about that game is there's a random chance that the monster the bad guy, will pop up whenever you need him least.
Yes.
He will just be there. And then you're praying that the next person that goes does the same thing and drags him over to them. Otherwise, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I just was, oh, man. I've only played it a couple of times, and one time was at a convention, so I could literally not hear myself think. But we were trying to play a cooperative group game. That was smart.
Yeah.
Not. But yeah, I mean, it's plain fun, and it is just survive. Just someone. And you find yourself willing to sacrifice yourself. Once you are starting to get down, you will sacrifice yourself for the group to win.
Yes.
And that is so thematic.
Yep.
If you've ever seen the game Final Girl, which is a solo version, but if anybody tells me that they didn't take that directly from this, I will say you're wrong. Even down to the VCR cases, because in the original version of Final Girl, the characters and the different adventures came in VCR cases.
Love it.
And I was like, yeah, it's such a, I'm not saying it may even be the same company. I don't even know, but that's such a great nod to the other version.
Yeah.
And, Final Girl has its own attraction, building the monster and then being the final girl and trying to do whatever the game tells you have to do to get out is so off the hook.
Right.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to when you get that Don't Look Back.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pure fun.
So awesome. And you can never beat the bad guy.
No.
You can drive them off, which only holds them off for a certain amount of time. But even then, you can trigger game sequences that cause them to come back.
Yep.
And if they kill a survivor, then they're savoring the kill. So they're gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then they're going to come back.
It's Freddy, dude. You ain't getting away.
No.
How many movies?
It looks so fun. So the Kickstarter I backed, because I didn't have the $800 for the full one.
You didn't go for the...
Yeah. The $800 one had literally every previous expansion.
Oh, my God.
Plus the new game, plus the new expansion. So the new game comes with, I think, 2 killers and 6 survivors. It is their core set. They're providing I think it's a fold out, but it is a 3x3 mat.
Yeah.
And then they previously did MDF terrain that was pretty cool and pre-painted and really cool stuff, right? But they're actually moving to that Warcrow style cardboard in order to do a paper setup.
Nice.
Which I think is great. We talked about it before. I like the portability of that stuff.
The more that I play, between Halo and Warcrow, as well as, using that stuff for Moonstone, plus getting the battle system, I'm really getting enamored with Papercraft Terrain.
Yeah.
I am really just, that Maladum game. We'll get to it later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for Maladum. I can't wait for you to talk about that.
I'm jumping in.
But yeah, so it comes with a full set cabin in the woods type setup.
Awesome.
So you have everything you need to do to play the original or the core game with the 2 killers. But then the expansion comes with 3 additional killers, I think, and maybe a few extra survivors. I'd have to double check it. But that one's a reference to a laboratory that's, out in the middle of nowhere and monsters coming from that, So it looks like a pretty cool setup. I don't think it's actually Kickstarter who did it. Let me pull it up.
It's GameFound.
Yeah, GameFound.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, they raised $160,000. So yeah, that'll do it. Hopefully.
August update. Molds are done.
Video store owner retail pledge. I like that. The horror historian, all core and previous expansion, 745.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. Yeah.
God. But look at all what you get. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so cool.
It's so much.
Yeah.
It's so much.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous how much it is.
But even just the core game is such a value. Such a value.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got your cabin. You got, the dock.
Mm-hmm.
There's the car, but of course you just go buy your own cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is 6 survivors, 2 killers in the original, and then Facility 86, that's the one, the expansion one, I got that one. Trying to see what all comes in that. 4 more survivors and 1 more killer.
Nice.
Plus extra terrain.
You're not going to run out of shit to do for quite a while.
No, not at all. Don't even need to go for expansions, at this point, though. I mean, it might be fun to grab a couple and have some painted up for alternernatives right away.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a girl with a katana in the Facility 86.
Nice.
Chisaki. Expansion, 4 new PVC character minis, 1 new PVC killer miniature, card terrain expansion for Facility 86. And all the cards you need. That's cool.
The minis are so gorgeous. I'm telling you. I love it. I love it when a good old game like that gets a good facelift.
I am such a horror movie fanatic.
Yeah.
I watch at least 2 to 3 horror movies a week. Honestly. If I can't find something on TV, I'm yeah, I'm just going to go search horror movies on HBO Max tonight or Prime Video tonight, you know?
Pop something in, yeah.
I always found something. Actually, last night I watched the remake of Last House on the Left. I got to say the SA style horror movies are not my favorite, but, you know, parents getting immediate revenge on bad guys is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I can't watch The Hills Have Eyes. Like, I watched the remake of the original, and how everyone just gives up. Like, that pisses me off. like horror movies where people just give up, like, anger me.
Yeah, what's the fun? Come on.
Fight back.
Yeah.
Fight back, you know?
Do a little something.
You know, you're going to die anyway, fight back. Mm-hmm. All right, that's me ranting for a little bit. I had other stuff, but I'm cutting it out right now because
okay.
We got some stuff for you to talk about.
Not really. I mean, I'm not going to go into all this. In fact, let me start, and then we'll see where we end up. So if you, okay, like, you know, I was going to mention when you were talking about Kingdom Death. Kingdom Death is a lifestyle game. You buy that game knowing that you are going to devote time and your friends' time to it. Whether or not, you know, I mean, it's a big game, and it's a long-term commitment. You can't just go, well, let's play it for an afternoon and see what happens. No, it defies the purpose. Frosthaven is another one of those. It's like Gloomhaven. Frosthaven is another one of those games that it's a lifestyle game. You have to commit to playing it for quite a while in order to get any real value and fun out of the campaign. Well, they did Frosthaven for the PC.
Awesome.
It is in early access right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you what, it is shit hot. It is really, really good. There's a lot of stuff that is missing. And what I like about these developers for the game is they flat out list what's not here. What have we not tackled yet? And they're taking feedback weekly. There's updates all the damn time. But it's playing Frosthaven, and that first scenario is an ass kicker.
Yeah.
It will test you like no tomorrow. And it is fun. It is good. I mean, it brought me right back to when Pam and I started our Frosthaven campaign, and we were like, what the hell is this? We cannot win. We can't do this.
Yeah.
And then you just keep knuckling down and you just keep trying and trying and trying and trying. Oh yeah, we got this. Oh yeah, okay, we can do this. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just a ton of fun. It's out there now. It's cheap. So if you are really into Frosthaven, I would say grab it now so that you can get it inexpensively, so that, you know, when the full game drops, you don't have to pay the full price.
Okay.
But they are updating it all the time. They are fixing little interactions that don't work. The user interface could use a little bit of work, but they've already talked about how they're working on these different things. But Overall, it's very smooth, very nice. If you remember from years ago, and I'm talking 2011 or so, Catalyst Game Labs put out the game called Leviathans, which...
Gosh, I don't recall that.
Okay, it's a board game, alternate steampunk universe.
Okay.
Set in the 1910s, just before World War I, where instead of the navies, well, it's still the navies, but they're not waterbound anymore. These are flying airships.
Okay.
And they are ironclads. They are huge battleships that fly. Mm-hmm. And the game was an absolute blast. It was a little clunky, but what happened was Catalyst released the game. It was incredibly overproduced. Every single miniature, I forgot what I did with my copy. I put it somewhere. It's in here somewhere. But every single model, and these ship models are like, the big battleships are like 6 inches long. They're big.
Oh, wow.
And every turret moved. They came all painted. Each individual little turret was movable. They were so overproduced. It was ridiculous. Cow. The cards for each ship were the first time I'd ever seen cards that came glossy embossed so that you could use dry erase markers on them directly. It's just, the game, it was huge. It was amazing. And I bought everything for it because Mark and I were playing the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. And then it died. It literally died. And the reason it died is because Catalyst had contracted with a company in China to make the ships and all the components. The company then withheld shipping the second wave, the second printing of the stuff, because they just wanted to, they saw that it was a success and they wanted to cash in. And they were like, nope, we double this shit now or you get nothing. And Catalyst was like, well, we don't have the money to do that, so I guess we get nothing. So the company kept the molds, they kept the designs, and they kept all the product.
Okay.
So it literally ended Leviathans as a commercial prospect, a viable prospect for them to use. So all of a sudden it came out on Kickstarter and I missed it. I didn't see it. I don't know why. I should have seen it, but it's going to start hitting soon. So if you had that game and if you remember it, they are doing the German box, the German fleet, the British fleet, the French fleet, the Italian fleet, the Russian fleet, and there's one more. I forgot which one. But yeah, the game's going to come back in a big way. And like Catalyst said, this time we own the designs. We own the molds. We own everything. So we won't go through that shit again.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like Leviathans, it's coming back. Imperial Assault. Have you ever played Imperial Assault?
I never have, but you got a big pile of it back there.
I may have really liked that game. Yeah, no, I really, really liked that game. And the reason it's out here is because I discovered that there is an app. I never knew this. Years ago, they came out with an app that took it from a 2-player us versus, Rebels versus the Imperials. And the way that game, it's a really great skirmish game for Star Wars.
Okay.
But the Imperial player was the keeper of all knowledge. They were the one that had the campaign book. And, the premise of the game is it's a rebel skirmish force that's going into different Imperial facilities to steal, borrow, set free, whatever the scenario called for.
Yeah.
And so they had a very specific set of heroes and allies that would go in with them, whereas the Empire player had usually a starting force that was generally weaker than the rebels coming in. But you also, every turn, you got reinforcement points. They call them something else. But you basically got reinforcement points every turn. And you could spend those to either bring units back, heal up your units or bring them back. Or you could buy whole new units. So you could buy like an AT-AT.
Oh,
and
God.
just plop it on the ground and go, yeah, bitches, come at me now.
Where's Dash Rendar when you need him?
Yeah, you could bring in Darth Vader. You could bring in,
oh my God,
General Vice, all these things. So, yeah, it's really, really fun. And the way it ramped up the campaign, but it was super balanced, super well balanced, I always thought. Well, years ago, they released a computer Empire player. You just literally start the game, tell it what you have in your collection, and then it spits out everything for you. It'll say, set up this scenario, boom. Okay, and then you go through the game where you're both rebel players now, the 2 players. If you're doing it as a 2-player, you're rebel players. You go through, you take your turns, you do your stuff, you input the results in, and it tells you what the setup for the next turn is. And oh, by the way, I bought Darth Vader, set him up over here, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
And it controls the cards that they're going to play, because the Empire player has like these command cards and initiative cards they can play to alter the conditions of the deal. It can get really flippy, really crazy, and it's a lot of fun. And it's one of those games where Fantasy Flight did it, so it was going to be really, really good as skirmish games go. And a lot of games come down to the very last turn.
I love that.
You're like, oh my God. And you feel like you've won something when you win it. So, yeah, we've been doing that. If you've seen the new game Vantage, boy, that's a really hard game to quantify, because in that game, there's no win condition. There's no, victory. It's exploring the planet. Have you ever heard of Vantage?
No.
Okay, so Vantage is a Jamie Stonemeyer game. It's there's 800 location cards and then 1,300 story kind of cards. And it's the way the game starts is you're on a ship and you've been reached out to by an interstellar being who has said, hey, go here because there's cool stuff and you should. And so you do. And then you get there and your ship malfunctions and everybody jumps into an escape pod and you all poof down to the planet. The problem is none of you are in the same area The escape pods went all over the place. So you're playing this game, but you're not anywhere near each other. And you're discovering the world as you go on. It's incredibly unique how the cards work and how the mechanics of the game work. But it's the exploration is the thing. Learning about the planet is the thing. And there's enough cards in there that you can play the game 50, 60 times and never run into the same set of things to do. And each, Mr. Stonemeyer there over at Stonemeyer Games says every time you play the game, you should start over. You should start fresh. You shouldn't just leave it set up and just explore the whole planet with one group. That sort of defies the design intent. So just when you're done, put it up, start over. And it's funny because when we do that, we start out in completely different areas. We run into completely different aliens. This in the last playthrough that we did, I found this Forbidden City. And in it, I learned how to play this card game that I just was able to sit around and get rich playing this card game.
Holy cow.
And if you win, you get gold, you get coin to spend. And then I was able to, in the same town, go to the bookstore and buy these books that had spells so that when I left the town, I had these spells that I could teleport to any card in the world, but you don't know what they are. So what's the good of that? Mm-hmm. Although I could teleport to Pam to help her, but we felt like that would be gamey. Mm-hmm. So we weren't going to do that. But it was nice because I could go back to cards I'd gone to before. Mm-hmm. To maybe unlock something else.
Interesting.
It's a really crazy game where the exploration is the game. It's not, there are victory conditions. There's quest cards and there's mission cards. And if you want to play it that way, you can. But he says flat out, that's not the goal. The goal is not to achieve the mission. Because what happens when you achieve the mission? The game ends.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what was going to happen anyway. Mm-hmm. It's not you get no, you're starting over next time anyway. So it's a really weird game. If you're not into games that don't have very specific win conditions, you'll hate it. If you're into really amazingly well-produced exploration, it's a lot of fun. Ton of fun.
Interesting.
Fate of the Fellowship, the #1 game on Board Game Geek right now. You've played pandemic games, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fate of the Fellowship it's the best fucking pandemic game ever.
Lord of the Rings pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely off the hook, fucking incredible. Both times we've played. The first game we played came down to we were on the very last action card. It was over after this. We just said fuck it and rolled for it and just went for it. We did the last shadow test. It's literally Frodo's journey from all the way to the Shire to Mount Doom. You, as the party, are playing different characters, and you should randomize them, or you can pick whatever favorite ones you want. It doesn't matter. But they all have different asymmetric abilities, and the bad guy player is, of course, going every turn. So every time you're done, it gets to go. Armies are moving across the board. You've got to stop them on so many different fronts. It's like any pandemic game. There's 8 ways to lose, 1 way to win, and that way is so fucking hard, and it's so stacked against you that when you win, you're just like, this is fucking awesome. I love this game. That first game came down to we were on our last card. If we had to go one more turn, we were going to lose all of our hope and die. It was just intense. The second game that we played, it was kind of easy, I guess, because we had 3 cards left when we finished it, except, yeah, it was... Oh my God, it was crazy. And the idea of you playing with the different characters, the first time I randomly drew Legolas and Gandalf.
Okay.
And that wasn't too bad. Gandalf was cool because he could move 2 spaces instead of 1 because he had Shadowfax.
Oh, okay.
But, and then, yeah, the next game I was Eowyn and I believe Boromir. And I was like, oh, that game I fucking slayed.
Yeah.
Each of them had a bonus to where they could recruit soldiers of their faction in their respective headquarters for nothing. They could just say, I'm recruiting and do it.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, they didn't have to spend anything to do it. So my army of Rohan, when Isengard came calling, I was like, shut up, bitch, and just slapped Saruman back into the Dark Age. And then same thing, I was able to beef up Minas Tirith because Boromir was just there going, troop, 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 troop. And yeah, the bad guy was going through them, but I could just bring them right back. Mm-hmm. And it was brilliant. It was crazy. But yeah, it's a fun game. Very fun game. And then last but not least, we're getting set up to play our Maladam game. Oh my God. We played the first one where you're supposed to just, go get gear and get geared up. And it's the truth. In that game, you play that game, there is a tipping point on the dread scale where if you wait one turn too long, it's over. You're done. You might as well just pack it up at that point because you're not going to make it out. The way these things are going to spawn, you're just like, oh, fuck me. 2 more in front of us. We're so dead. Oh, it's such a good game. And it's battle systems. So it's all that incredibly cool papercraft terrain. So you're building the dungeon. You build the dungeon, before the game, but you're setting up. And the way the doors, you're like, make sure you close the door behind you because it takes the enemy a turn to open the door. Close the door behind you. Oh, I left it open. Oh my God, you stupid.
We're all fucked.
Because you left the door open. Oh God. And I have this mage character and I had this weird spell where it said specifically, I can unlock or lock any door. And I was like, why the fuck would I want to lock a door? Until the very first time we played, and I was like, lock that fucking door. God, please lock it. And I was like, holy shit, thank God, because enemies can't unlock doors.
Gotcha.
God.
Until they can later on. Watch.
I'm sure there's going to be a card that's like, there is an event card in there that unlocks a random door. So it's crazy. But, it's kind of a lot like Kingdom Death in that the random events that pop up will brutalize you. I mean, it's just not only is the dread tracker always going up, which controls how many bad guys spawn to the point to where you just literally don't have enough actions in your turn to kill them all or to even affect them all. Oh God, it's a hard fucking game, but it's fun. It's core space, but fantasy. So anyway, that was all I had.
Well, it's quite an episode of After Dark, folks. Ranting about games we have, games we want. I am so stoked for After Dark, or not After Dark. Don't Look Back.
Oh, yeah.
After Dark edition.
Yeah.
Make my own killer. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be done. But this is a fun one. Go play Warcrow. Go try out these games if you can.
Definitely try Warcrow. You will find it. It's a lot smaller scale, even than a what's his name, Spearhead Battle.
Yeah.
It's even smaller scale than that, but it's a completely refreshing new take on how to play a fantasy game. And I'm not going to flat out say it's just better, but it is. I mean, it actually, it uses dice that matter instead of, it's a D6 and you're limited to a +1. And so your range of results is so predictable. Great for competitive play, lousy for having any fun. So yeah, play Warcrow. You'll enjoy it. Better models.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we don't know what we're going to be doing next time, but you'll find out when we record next time.
That's right.
But we really want to thank you all for sticking through this extra hour with us as we went on our rantiness. And we hope to see you next time.